Welcome back, my friends, to the Savvy Stylist podcast. I am your host, Amy Walker, and as always, I am so freaking excited to be here, continuing today the conversation around burnout in the beauty industry. Now, this is something that we have been talking for the last couple of episodes about. And the reason that I have turned this into a multi-episode series is because it really is such a big conversation. It really is something that is impacting our industry at a rapid rate. And it is one of the number one conversations that I am having with beauty industry professionals, with salon owners, with estheticians, is the fact that they are burning out for multiple reasons very quickly. This used to be something that we would see after 10, 15 years in the industry. And we are now seeing this after 3, 4 years in the industry, where hairdressers alike are just spinning their tires, desperately trying to build their businesses, build their clienteles, make enough money to justify staying in the industry. And then they're getting to this place where it's just too much. It's just too overwhelming. They're working too hard for not enough money. It's stressful. And the end result of that is that they leave because they feel wholeheartedly that there just isn't enough money to be made in this industry for the amount of energetic overwhelm and burnout that they're experiencing. So, we are going to continue this conversation today in regards to building a clientele and why it can be the one thing that leads to you burning out so quickly. Welcome. Let's dive in. Let's get at this. Here's what I want to tell you. Although I feel like burnout is one of the biggest reasons, I know burnout is one of the biggest reasons that people inside of this industry are leaving rapidly. The one thing that is a common theme for all of those individuals is that at one point or another, they have massively struggled to build their clientele. Here's why this piece of the puzzle is what is leading to burnout and leaving the industry. My friends, it is exhausting. Let me say that again. It is exhausting building a clientele. And if you don't build the clientele in a way that leads to long-term clients, if you don't have the systems in place to not only attract those clients, but attract the clients that you actually want to hang out with, and then keep them coming back to you consistently every 4, 6, 8 weeks, whatever the routine. If you don't have those systems in place, what you're doing is repeating the building of clients, the attracting of clients cycle continuously. And that is exhausting. It is exhausting because I want you to think of this. If you are brand new to this industry, I want you to hear me when I say building a relationship with one new client will take a lot of energy from you to do. Now, if you imagine doing that multiple times a day, every day of the week, week after week, month after month, because you are constantly cycling through new clients and those clients are not staying, you are going to burn out at a rapid pace. I said what I said. It is going to happen. It is happening. And the problem with this is the retention piece. The problem is the actual keeping of those new guests that you get in your chair long term. Because um, once you get past that point of building that relationship, the new client, you figured out what they like, what they don't like, who they are, what their family's about, what they do for work, all of those like new relationship things, then you get to move into a more relaxed state where now you know those things. Now you're becoming friends, a relationship is built, and them coming to sit in your chair feels more relaxing because you already know the important things that you need to know about them. You now get to just sit and basically visit with one of your besties, and that is so much more relaxing. It is so much more fun. It is so much easier on your energetic being to do than to constantly be in a state of building a relationship with new people over and over and over and over again. And so when we miss the piece of retaining those clients, when we don't have that in place, it means that we continue this cycle of building new clients over and over and over again. And it is an art, and we do need to know how to do it. And there will be times in our career where we intentionally choose to build new clients. Maybe we're shifting direction in the work that we do. Maybe the client base that we have is no longer serving us. Maybe you've taken some time off and you're coming back and you're rebuilding a little bit. There will be times when we have to go into that phase of our business and know that for a short period of time, we are going to be expending a lot of energy. A lot of us is going to go into it, but we don't want that to be a continuous cycle, a continuous state of constantly, all of the time, trying to build and attract and build these relationships to the point where we just can't do it anymore. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I remember being, and I remember what it felt like in my body to go home at the end of the day after spending an entire day meeting new clients, feeling so drained. Like I literally had nothing left to give my family. Like I literally had nothing left to give at home. And I remember coming home and saying to my husband, I love you. I'm so sorry, but I am done. I cannot have another conversation today. Period. I love you. I'm going to eat. I'm going to have a bath and I'm going to bed. And one of these days, I should actually interview him as to what it was like in that time to be the spouse of a hairdresser in that stage of her business, because I'm sure it was equally overwhelming and draining for him as it was for me. And so the reason we're having this conversation is A, to bring awareness to this, B, to give you solutions to this so that you can actually grow in a way that feels good, that is nurturing. But I also want you to have the tools to be able to not only build the business, have the strategies in place so that you can move through this phase of your business faster, not have to go through it as often, but to be able to still show up in your personal life, everything outside of your job, as a whole functioning human. I don't want you to have to go to your husband, to your kids, and say things like, I'm exhausted. I cannot speak anymore today. I don't want you to go home and be mad and cranky and upset and overwhelmed and overstimulated and then not be able to show up for your family, for your kids, for whoever, for yourself. Never mind family and kids, just being able to show up for yourself. I want to help give you the tools to be able to work through all of those things very efficiently and effectively. That is the whole goal of this business model, is for you to not only thrive, but I want you out of survival mode. I want you to be able to live in that realm of, this is so fun. I love what I do. I love my clients because I've intentionally built a clientele that is, they're like my people. Yes. I hope that that is making sense to you. So what I want to encourage you is to lean into not only the building of the clientele, but I want us to get super laser focused on who we're attracting into our chair, who we're attracting into our world, what it is that we actually want to be doing, what it is that lights us up inside, And then I want you to be able to keep those people long term. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on this today, but if this is speaking to you, if you were like, oh my gosh, yes, Amy, that is what I need. I need help like putting into place the systems and the structures, then I want you to reach out to me and I want us to have a conversation about what Legacy Unlocked looks like because it is a mentorship program that is designed to do all of those things. We build the foundation of the business and we get into all of those details of who the clients are you want to call in, what the work is that you want to do, what your goal is. We lay all the foundation and then we build on that. So if you're feeling like after listening to this conversation, even this far, that this is something you want to do more with, you want to dive deeper into, just send me a DM, send me an email, reach out to me on social media at the Soul Centric Stylist. Let's just have a conversation and I can give you a little bit more details on what that looks like because there is a very specific person who that program is meant for. And if any part of you, after listening to me talk so far, has been like, yep, that's it. That's where I need to be. That's what I need help with. Then we need to talk about legacy. Okay. So, what I actually want to do today, the piece that I actually want to make sure that you know, listening to this episode, that you are invited to today is something that I call the old school challenge. And it's going to be so fun. I am so excited about this. But the reason that I have put this challenge together is to support this topic that we are talking about right now because there are so many of you reaching out to me asking questions, having conversations about building the clientele. You know, maybe it's new, maybe you're a new stylist and you've come out of school and you have no idea where to start. Or maybe you've been in it a year or two and you still feel like you're constantly doing all of the things to support your business and you're posting. Get you laser focused on who the client is, what it is you want to build, and jumps straight into strategy. It jumps straight into the action of how we are going to do this. We are starting this on November 22nd, so you still have about a week and a half if you're listening to this episode as it drops. November 22nd to get into this challenge. The reason that I am doing it on November 22nd and running it for 30 days from there is because of the holidays. And I'm pretty sure that by the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, you guys are kicking back with your families, doing whatever your traditions are, taking a couple of beats off work. And I want this plan, this system, this challenge to be in full swing, in full motion by the time Christmas hits, because the goal with this is that by January, your book is full. How many of you have experienced slow January or February, maybe after the chaotic rush of Christmas? How many of you have crammed and worked your faces off in December to get everybody beautiful for the holidays, and then January comes and it is literal crickets in the salon? We are not going to do that. I don't want you to feel that lull, that holy shit, where is my income coming from? Where are the clients coming from? How do I get them back in? Everybody has overspent. What do we do? We are not doing that this year. Everything that we are doing is setting us up to run into 2025, not being unsure, not questioning where our income is coming from. We are not questioning who is sitting in our chairs in January, February, March. We are going to put all of that into place now so that come January, we're good to go. We have filled that gap. We have more clients coming in. We have the systems in place. So here's what this looks like. If this is something that you feel like, ooh, I could do that, trust me when I say you can do that. It is not going to be hard. You just have to say yes. You just have to say, yeah, I could use a few more clients. I don't want to experience a slow month or 2 months in January, February when all my Christmas bills come in. I don't want that. I want a full book. I want to know that come the new year, I have a full client roster ready to roll. There are no gaps in my schedule. That is the goal. So here's what we're going to do. You are going to say to me, yes, Amy, I am in. I want part of this challenge. By the way, it is free. There is literally all I'm asking from you is your commitment. All I'm asking for you is that you say, yes, I want to do this. I want to learn how to build my business more effectively. I want more clients sitting in my chair that I actually want to be sitting in my chair, that I could actually see myself being friends with, that I could actually see myself hanging out with for like long term. Okay. You're going to say yes and get signed up. You're going to get a link to a Telegram chat, which is just where I am going to share with you the action steps. It's a place that it's a free app if you don't already have it. Everything here is free. This is not going to cost you anything but a couple of minutes of your time to listen to the action steps, to listen to the strategy, and then you're going to go implement them. And we, the community who is going to be inside this challenge, are going to support you. You're going to lean on each other. You're going to make some new biz besties. It is going to be so fun. You can do this. At the end of this, you are going to feel more confident in building that clientele, which I know is something that so many of you are struggling with, and B, how to keep them in your chair. Now, what you're going to learn inside of this challenge is a strategy that I have used my entire career, my entire 20 years of being a hairdresser. I have used this strategy multiple times for multiple reasons. Like we talked about earlier in this episode, maybe it's because you've taken time off work. I've taken multiple stretches of time off work to have babies, when I got married, to go on holidays, when I had my wrist surgeries, all three of them. I had to rebuild after every single one of those events to some capacity. And this is the strategy that I use to do it every single time. The reason I call it an old school challenge is because in our world of social media, yes, you want to have a social media presence. Yes, you can build clientele and you can build business there, but it is not the only way. It is not necessarily, in my opinion, the best way to have as your one and only. It is a combination of, it can be both and. And that's what we're going to get back to. We're going to get back to old school, tried and true ways. And then we're going to combine them with the new age social technology. That is what's happening. That is what the vibe is going to be inside of this challenge. So, for my beauty industry professionals who are serious about building that business, who are not going to wait until January to do these things. That is not the time to get into this flow of growing your business. We want to start now. We want systems in place. We want forward momentum. We want everything rolling and building for us before January, so that come January, there is no lull. There is no question. Our business is growing and this is a system, this is a strategy that is going to continue to grow your business over time. This is not a one and done if you don't want it to be. If you want to just do this once, implement the strategy, join the challenge for the 30 days, do it one time. Maybe you've been in the industry for a number of years, or maybe you are just coming back from a maternity leave, or maybe you did just take a certain amount of time off to travel the world or have a surgery or fill in the blank, and you just need to like close in the gaps. this is something that you can do to just gain. Maybe it means that you only need like 10 ish new clients, right? Maybe you need 5 to 10 new clients to fill in those gaps. This can be a one time strategy for you to get those 5 to 10 clients. You actually could do this with only, if you only needed, say, 10 clients, you could implement this strategy on just 3 of your favorite clients and build it out like snap of a finger, lickety split fast. So this works really, really, really well every single time. And I need you to just put some faith in me, some faith in yourself, and like just run with me. So I am going to leave you with that today. The challenge is what is up and coming. That is what is next. That is what is happening. We start on November 22nd. If you're listening to this episode and it is past November 22nd, just send me a DM. I'm going to get you in. We're going to start the 30 days wherever you're at. I hope that every single one of you listening to this reaches out to me, sends me a DM, says, yes, I am in. I want to do this with you. I want in on the challenge. Where do I go? How do I start? Where's the button? You also can go to my website, which I will put in the show notes, thesoulcentricstylist.com, and the link to join will be in there as well. With that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, just want to see you build the juiciest business. I want whatever that looks like for you. If you just feel like I want to make an extra $1,000 a month, I want to make another 5 grand a month. I want to be a 6 figure stylist. I just want to have like my own little single chair salon, do my thing, work 3 days a week, whatever it is for you. The entire purpose of everything that I have to offer for you guys is to meet you where you're at in your business behind the chair, figure out where it is that you want to go, and then fill in the blanks with the steps needed to get there. Okay. The old school challenge is where we're starting. So let's do this. Join me. We start in like a week and a half. It's going to be so amazing. I'm so excited. Thank you, as always, for joining me on the Savvy Stylist podcast. Until next week, I am going to have a beautiful guest. This will be our first guest on the Savvy Stylist podcast. I am so excited to introduce you to her. I'm not going to say too much yet. It's going to be amazing. She is the queen of building capacity and talking about everything that we are talking about here in building our businesses. So make sure that you are following along so that you get notified when these episodes drop. As always, I genuinely, truly, truly, truly appreciate every single one of you that leaves a 5-star review. Leave me a little love note. Tell me what it is that you love about the podcast. I would love to hear from you. It's how I am able to bring to you the education and the trainings and the conversations that are relevant and important to you. I am your host, Amy Walker. Thank you for joining me. I love you so much. Mwah.